Oh, hi. Sorry, just looking at my college schedule for, yeah, because she was going back to college this Monday. So yeah, um, I wanted to make this video just for the hell of it. I saw, you know, spoilers, whatever, or a little bit of SmackDown. So probably not gonna make a review on that, just because last SmackDown was special. This one not really so. So yeah. But anyhow, excuse me, still trying to fight a cold. But alright. So I don't know how many guys have seen this video. If you haven't, yours truly will put a link in the description box down there. Venis, aka Sean Morley, aka Mr. Morley, whatever you want to call him, Chief Morley, made a video. He made an own video. He made a video. Talks about how much he thinks that the Hardy Boys are overrated. How much they think they suck. How much he thinks Shane Helms, the Hurricane, sucks. How much he thinks Shannon Moore sucks. And that they think they know nothing about professional wrestling and that they got no talent at all whatsoever. I hate to say this, but I agree with the guy. I mean, what is so great about the Hardy Boys? I mean, okay, they were entertaining. I'll give them that. They were entertaining, possibly one of the best tag teams of all time. I get that. But now, they're really nothing when you think about it. Yes, they were special then. In the late 90s, early 2000s, even in the mid 2000s, they were something special. But now, in the year 2011, you're gonna tell me the Hardy Boys are really big? Really? Well, let's try to break this down, shall we? Yes, this is a Hardy Boys rant, just in case you haven't noticed by the title yet. Let's start off with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy. People call him Fat Hardy. People call him Tyler Rex. People call him... Someone called him Kofi Kingston. I was like, what? I guess because of the braids. But, it's just... Someone called him Raven, too. That was another one. But, Matt Hardy. I'll give Matt Hardy credit. To me, he's a better technical wrestler compared to Jeff. I've said this before. Jeff is more of a spot guy, meaning that he's more of a, okay, the match will only be good if he's in it, if he does a few crazy stuff. Like, for example, SummerSlam 2009, jumping off a ladder, hitting the Swanton Bomb to CM Punk through the announce table. That's a spot. Jeff does do stuff like that. But that's the only thing, in my opinion, that Jeff can really do. Now, with Matt, yes, Matt is, I guess you could say, he is the older brother, and he is the... Is Matt the older brother? I think Matt... Who's older, Matt or Jeff? I think Matt's older, right? Yeah. But Matt is more of a slow pace, at least, and I don't think it so much has to do with weight. I know some people are like, oh, because he's slow, because he's fat. No, I don't think it's so much to do. I think it's because of the fact that it has to do with age more than anything, too. So you got age and kind of pudginess there. That's usually doesn't end up a good combination, as you could see lately. But with Matt, I get it. He's a hardworking guy. I get it that he's taken a lot of crap the last years in WWE. He didn't want to leave WWE, at first. The first time he left. He went to ROH for a little while, came back. I know he had this whole real life, and then later became a storyline with him and Edge and Lita. And then, later down the years, he became ECW champion, and then, he became the United States champion several times, and he became tag team champion with MVP. And, of course, the many times that he's won tag team champions with his brother Jeff. Can't forget about that. And, of course, I've said this before, saying again, him, with his brother Jeff, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian with the creation of TLC. So yeah. But, you know, to me, Matt just doesn't really have it anymore. I mean, the final days of WWE, I know he was jobbing. That doesn't help. But even then, he didn't even look that good. No homo. Genesis, you know, was okay match. And then last night on Impact, that's supposed to be the main event. You know, and you know, this is just we're mad. And then you got Jeff. The guy is going to jail. The guy is going to jail. And the funny thing is, you remember a few years ago when, you know, CM Punk and Jeff had the rivalry, which to me was probably rivalry of the year of that year, because I know people can argue about it. Oh, what about Triple H and Randy Orton? No, that just got shoved us down our throats way too many times. But, you know, every time CM Punk went on the mic talking about, you know, of course, him being straight edge, talking about how Jeff, you know, with his drugs and everything, and how when Jeff left, immediately he got caught for taking drugs. I just find that ironic. You know, CM Punk just happens to be right about these sort of things. Guy's a genius. But still, guys, I mean, CM Punk, sorry, it's not CM Punk, I got me doing it. Jeff Hardy, just, he's a spots guy. And if anything, he's better off as a face than a heel. I mean, I think he's been an okay heel. Okay. I know he's limited with his moves, with his, you know, move set. You know, he can't call it a twist of fate anymore. Now it's called a twist of hate. And now, you know, remember before, whenever you hit the twist of hate, you know, the person would never kick out. Now some people are kicking out of it. You know, and I know that's not Jeff's fault. But, you know, if Val Venis, aka Sean Morley, aka Chief Morley, whatever you want to call that guy, was right about how the Hardy Boys are just, you know, a thing that Michael Hayes decided to come up with in the late 90s to bring these two young guys up who knew nothing about professional wrestling besides jumping on a trampoline up and down and talking about how, you know, yes, it's sad that, you know, both these, you know, young guys lost their mother at a very, very young age, and that their father had to watch them, which, you know, again is very sad. But, you know, the whole and Matt being on YouTube every freaking day, seems like he makes a video talking about how his life, and talking about how he has to sell DVDs, and that him and his brother Jeff are, you know, his brother's now the Antichrist, and he is a reincarnation of Matt Hardy, which, you know, to me, once you think about it, kind of sounds a little religious, don't you think? The Antichrist. Jesus. Anti-Jesus, Antichrist, duh. And then Matt Hardy, the reincarnation. Who the hell reincarnated in history for, you know, and it was ever been famous for? Jesus. So the Hardy Boys are involved with Jesus. Guess that's what happens when Jeff has a kid. Oh man. Yeah. Just supposedly Matt Hardy's a man-whore. I don't know if this is true, man. Ashley Massaro. If you date Ashley Massaro, there is something wrong with you. Ugh. She used to look hot. You look at her now, it's just like eh. But anyway, going off subject here. I never really was a fan of Jeff Hardy. I mean, yes, I liked him. You know, maybe 2001 when he upset Triple H and became Intercontinental Champion, which to me was one of the biggest upsets in the Attitude Era. I think it was. And then Matt, I always saw Matt Hardy as a good talent, just never used right. And now when he wants to be used right, he can't be used right. Not because of the company, because don't get me wrong, TNA is probably gonna push Matt to the freaking limit. But of how he can't really perform that much, that's when think of it, it's kind of like it's a too late type of push for Matthew Moore Hardy. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Hardy Boys, you ain't that good anymore.